would you quit the love of your life in order to save the world?
I'll answer this question very briefly.
A genetic dynasty has reigned for almost 4 centuries. But the beliefs of one man now threaten the Empire's very existence.
Hi, Javi.
How are you, Alfred? Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of a lot of things you did.
Oh, thank you very much, Javi.
And this one as well. I think the show is amazing. I got so trapped. It took me a little bit to understand everything, but it's amazing. So my first question is, were you familiar with the books of Asimov, or you start reading it for the show?
No, so I didn't know Asimov's work before. So I sort of discovered it all through the scripts. This was my introduction to this world. As I imagine, even though the books are very well known and very well loved, there will be people who are kind of discovering this universe for the first time.
And how do you feel when you start getting familiar, when you see how the world is, all that universe?
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's very exciting as the thing starts taking shape, as you start getting a sense of the character, of the feel of the show, of the look of the show, you know, all that bit in the lead up to shooting. You're doing costume fittings, you're having conversations about the character, you know, more scripts are coming through and you're getting a sense of the world. That's really exciting. It's this kind of propulsive energy that comes towards the first day of shooting. And you sort of turn up on the first day and there you are on a set. I think my first day, was in the studio. And it looked incredible. You know, the production design was amazing. I thought visually this is going to be an exciting show. And watching it as I have done recently, that expectation has been absolutely fulfilled. I mean, it looks amazing. So, all of that stuff that happens as you get deeper into it, as you discover more and more, it's very exciting. It's all part of the fun.
Familiar with my work, psychohistory?
Every mathematician has read your theory.
It's not a theory. It's the future of mankind expressed in numbers.
You have to be honest now. How much of your character and your lines and all the story you really understood?
No, I mean, happily, Raish is no futuristic mathematician. So I was all right with the things I had to say. I understood what I was doing, what I had to say. I managed to relate to it, and that's important, right? I think that's part of the work of the actor. You know, you start with these words on a page, but they're keys. You know, they're clues to unlock and to discover. And the more you learn, the more it informs you about who the character is, what they're after. What's important to them, and sort of with that knowledge you start discovering who this person is, and you're in a position then to say those words and make them make sense. So a big part of that job is understanding what you're saying. Happily for me, it wasn't as challenging as it would have been if I was dealing with a lot of conceptual mathematics, which certainly was not and is not my strong suit.
And how do you relate with your character? What things can you find you implant on that yourself on the character, and what things you got to be, I don't know, interpel? Can you say that in English?
Well, say again.
What things you get to see and you print on your characters, and what things the character print on you? I think that was more understandable.
Well, I would say I really respect his integrity. You know, that's something that I was really struck by reading the script, and as I sort of did my detective work and got to know him, what he does when he's in sort of very difficult situations, and the show puts him in some really tricky moral conundrums. With a lot of responsibility and a lot riding on his choice. You know, his actions will have huge repercussions, and he sort of bears that with a real kind of dignity and nobility and integrity. But also, I suppose he's thoughtful and he's questioning. You know, he doesn't just sort of do blindly follow the path he's meant to follow. He stops and he thinks, is this the right thing to do? Does this work? That's something I suppose I want to cultivate in myself. I think it's important for us not to just go along with what we're told or what we think is right. We have to discover that the world is much bigger than we imagine when we're only looking at our own little corner or our own little selves, you know. So that's something I hope to learn from it.
Okay, I have to wrap, so I'm gonna ask you the last question that you had to answer very fast.
Right.
Would you quit the love of your life in order to save the world?
I'll answer this question very briefly. Pass. There's no good answer to that question.
That's good. Thank you very much, and congratulations for the show. It's amazing, really.
Thank you, Javi. Bless. Take care, and thank you for having me on.